Most men walk through life completely blind to the reality of what is happening right in front of them. You think you need her to say the words, I like you, before you can feel confident, but by the time those words leave her mouth, the window of opportunity has often already closed. You have to realize that women communicate their highest levels of interest long before they ever speak them. They use a sophisticated, ancient, and entirely unconscious physical dialect that bypasses the logical brain. While she is busy playing it cool or keeping her conversation polite, her body is screaming the truth. She is dropping breadcrumbs, showing you specific physical tells that act as a roadmap to her true intentions. If you aren't looking for these signs, you aren't just missing a hint, you are missing the chance to be the man who actually understands her. The reason you've been struggling to read the room is that you've been focused on the wrong things. You're analyzing her texts, her tone of voice, or how long she takes to laugh at your jokes. All of that can be faked, managed, or manipulated. What cannot be faked is the biological reaction her body has when she is in the presence of a man she truly desires. In the next few minutes, we are going to strip away the confusion and dive into the 5 specific body parts that act as leakage points for her attraction. These are the parts of her body she cannot fully control, even if she is trying her best to stay hidden or mysterious. We are going to go deep into the mechanics of why these signals happen and how you can spot them instantly in a crowded room or a quiet dinner. Pay extremely close attention as we move through this list, because this isn't just about body language in a general sense. It's about the raw, evolutionary triggers of human desire. We are going to start with the subtle cues and build up to the absolute point of no return. By the time we reach the number 1 signal, you will have a superpower that most men would pay thousands to possess: the ability to know, with total certainty, exactly where you stand. There is no fluff here, no long-winded theories, and no wasting time. If you want to stop guessing and start knowing, you need to understand the silent language that is being spoken every time she looks at you. Let's get straight into it. The neck is the one area most men see every single day and completely fail to interpret. You see her tilt her head while you're talking, or you watch her reach up and brush her hair over one shoulder, exposing the side of her throat, and you think nothing of it. You might think she's just adjusting her hair or being cute, but you need to understand the biological weight of that gesture. The neck is the most vulnerable point of the human body. It houses the carotid artery, the airway, and the spine. From an evolutionary perspective, exposing the neck is an act of total submission and profound trust. When a woman does this in your presence, she isn't doing it for fashion. She is responding to a primitive lizard brain trigger. She is signaling that she feels completely safe and comfortable in your space. By tucking her chin and tilting her head, she is lowering her natural defenses and inviting you into her personal bubble. It is an unconscious physical green light that says she doesn't feel the need to guard herself against you. If you see her repeatedly touching her neck or clearing her hair away while making eye contact, she is practically screaming that she is open to your advances, even if her words stay strictly professional or polite. Beyond the neck, you have to start looking at the belly, which serves as the ultimate honesty meter for a woman's true feelings. The torso is the softest, most unguarded part of a woman's body, and because it houses all her vital organs, she is biologically wired to protect it at all costs. This is why a woman who feels uncomfortable, bored, or untrusting will unconsciously create a shield. She will cross her arms tightly over her stomach, angle her body away from you so her side is facing you, or she will literally place an object, like a purse, a pillow, or even a drink, directly in front of her midsection. She is building a fortress because her instincts are telling her to stay guarded. If you see this shielding behavior, it doesn't matter how much she is smiling, she is emotionally closed off. However, when a woman is genuinely drawn to you, that fortress crumbles instantly. The shield disappears. She will square her shoulders to you, her stomach will face you directly, and her arms will drop to her sides or stay open. This is called ventral surfacing, and it is the highest form of physical transparency. By turning her belly toward you, she is removing every barrier and showing you that she no longer feels the need to protect herself. She is exposing her most vulnerable side because her intuition has already decided that you are a high value man she wants to be close to. When she uncrosses those arms and opens her posture, she isn't just sitting comfortably, she is signaling that the path to her heart and her desire is wide open. If you can spot the difference between a woman who is shielded and a woman who is open, you will never waste another second chasing someone who isn't interested. Most men are terrified of physical escalation because they don't know where the safe zones end and the intimacy zones begin. They stick to the shoulders or the arms because those are public territories, the kind of places even a stranger or a distant acquaintance might touch. But if you want to know if she truly desires you, you have to look at the lower back. This is high stakes territory. The lower back is a highly sensitive and private area that sits right on the edge of her most intimate space. Because of this, a woman is incredibly selective about who she allows to touch her there. When you are walking through a crowded room or guiding her through a door and you place a firm, confident hand on the small of her back, you are making a move that demands a response. If she isn't interested, she will subtly stiffen, arch her back away, or speed up her pace to break the contact. But if she is into you, something magical happens. She will actually lean into your palm. She might slow her pace just a fraction to maintain that connection, or she might tilt her weight back toward you. That lean is the ultimate green light. It's her body's way of saying she's been waiting for you to take charge and that she craves that physical closeness. It's not just okay with her, it's exactly what she wanted. While you are paying attention to that physical connection, you also need to look down because the feet are the only part of the human body that almost never lies. Think about it. We spend our whole lives training our faces to hide our emotions. We learn how to fake a polite smile, how to pretend we're interested in a boring story, and how to maintain eye contact even when we want to leave. But almost no one thinks about their feet. The feet are controlled by the most primitive part of the brain, the part responsible for the fight or flight response. This makes them the single most honest body language signal in existence. If a woman is sitting or standing with you and her feet are pointed directly at your chest, she is fully locked in. Her brain is signaling that you are the most important thing in the room and she is completely invested in the interaction. However, the moment her interest fades or she begins to feel uncomfortable, her feet will be the first things to betray her. You might be having what seems like a great conversation. She might even be laughing at your jokes. But if her toes are angled toward the door, the bar, or another group of people, she is already mentally checking out. Her body is literally preparing to move in the direction her feet are pointing. It's a biological escape hatch. If you see her feet pointed away, you are losing her, and no amount of clever talking will fix it. But if she's standing there and her feet are squared up with yours, she isn't going anywhere. She is rooted in that spot because she wants to be exactly where she is right next to you. It really is that simple. The mouth can tell a story, but the feet always point toward the truth. Where the feet point, the heart and the rest of the body is soon to follow. This is the holy grail of body language, the one signal that carries more weight than all the others combined. It is the secret no mainstream dating coach will ever tell you about, primarily because it is so raw, so primal, and so incredibly revealing. We are talking about the inner thighs, the most protected and vulnerable part of a woman's entire body. From an evolutionary standpoint, the inner thighs are the final gateway. They represent the ultimate zone of intimacy and reproductive privacy. Because of this deep-seated biological importance, a woman's brain is hardwired to guard this area with extreme prejudice when she is around a man she doesn't trust or find attractive. When you are sitting next to her on a couch, at a booth, or in a lounge, you need to stop looking at her face for a moment and look at the orientation of her legs. If a woman is not interested in you, her body will automatically go into lockdown mode. She will cross her legs tightly, often hooking one foot behind her calf, and she will point her knees sharply away from you. This isn't just a comfortable sitting position, it is a physical barricade. She is literally using her legs to create a wall between her most private self and your space. This is a clear no entry sign from her subconscious, telling you that she is guarded, closed off, and emotionally unavailable in that moment. But when the attraction is real and the tension is high, her biology takes over and overrides her logic. If she wants you, that physical barricade will vanish. She will uncross her legs, or if she keeps them crossed, she will point the top knee directly toward you, signaling that she is comfortable letting you into her personal orbit. Most importantly, you will notice her legs begin to relax, leaving a subtle gap between her inner thighs. This is an incredible moment because she has no idea she is doing it. Her subconscious has already decided that you are a safe and desirable partner, so it naturally releases the tension in her muscles. She is opening her most vulnerable territory to you because her body is already preparing for the possibility of intimacy. If you catch this sign, the game is effectively over. You have already won the psychological battle of attraction. There is no need for you to perform, no need to tell more jokes, and no need to try and impress her with clever stories. In fact, trying too hard at this stage can actually ruin the moment. When she shows you this level of unconscious vulnerability, the only thing you need to do is stay composed and maintain your masculine presence. She is waiting for you to recognize the invitation her body is sending. She can lie to you with her words all night long, but she cannot stop her body from revealing her deepest desires. When you see that gap and that open posture, she isn't just interested, she is yours. All you have to do is be man enough to lead the way. The reality you have to accept right now is that words are the least reliable tool in the human arsenal. We live in a world where people are trained from birth to be polite, to mask their intentions, and to play social games to protect their egos. A woman might tell you she's not looking for anything serious, or she might act distant over text because she doesn't want to seem too eager, but while her mind is busy calculating her next move, her biology is operating on a completely different frequency. You now possess the keys to a language that has existed for millions of years, a language that predates speech and logic. These 5 unconscious signals are the glitches in the matrix that reveal her true desires. She cannot fake the dilation of her interest or the relaxing of her guard because these are governed by the autonomic nervous system. When you stop being a student of what she says and start becoming a master of what she does, you stop being a victim of confusion and start being a man of absolute certainty. You have to understand that the bottom line here is about power and perception. Most men spend their entire lives waiting. They wait for a clear verbal invitation, they wait for the right time, or they wait for her to make the first move so they don't have to risk rejection. But here is the cold, hard truth. The man who waits for permission will always lose to the man who knows what to look for. While the average guy is stuck in his own head wondering, does she like me? You will be standing there with the quiet confidence of a man who already knows the answer. This isn't about being arrogant. It's about being observant. When you see her neck exposed, her belly turned toward you, and her legs uncrossed, you don't need to ask if you can move closer. Her body has already invited you. If you ignore these signs and wait for her to say it out loud, you come across as hesitant and socially blind, which is the fastest way to kill the very attraction she's feeling. From this moment forward, you must make a pact with yourself to never sacrifice your self-respect for a guess. You no longer have to beg for attention or perform like a circus act to get a girl to notice you. Your new strategy is simple: observe and lead. If the signs aren't there, you walk away with your dignity intact because you didn't waste weeks chasing a maybe. But when you do see these signals, you must have the courage to act. The window of attraction doesn't stay open forever. It's a biological peak that requires a masculine response. By watching her actions rather than her words, you are tapping into a deeper level of human connection. You're seeing the woman behind the mask, and that is exactly the kind of awareness that high-value women find irresistible. Don't let this information just sit in your head. Put it into practice tonight. The next time you are talking to a woman, go eyes down. Check the feet, check the posture, and look for that vulnerability in her movements. Your brain is now calibrated to see the truth, and once you see it, you can never go back to being blind. You are now the man who understands the silent conversation. This is the upgrade your social life has been waiting for. Stop listening to the noise, start watching the movement, and take control of the interaction. The man who knows the truth doesn't need to ask for it. He simply steps into it. Now hit that subscribe button and get ready, because once you master the silent language, your entire world changes. Stay sharp and never stop leveled up.